Hi, it's Jason Perico for Bianchi Honda, suggesting you start your new year with a new Honda. Start by leasing America's best-selling SUV, the 2016 Honda CR-V EX all-wheel drive with standard features including moonroof, heated seats, touchscreen display, and more for only $299 a month with no money down. Lease Erie's favorite, the 2016 CR-V EX all-wheel drive for an amazing $299 a month here at Bianchi Honda.
Well, and it's the time that they're putting into it. Talk there almost every week about investment in the team and doing things outside of practice and getting your nose in the playbook and getting your nose in front of a computer screen and watching film. And these ladies have taken to it and they love that. And those are the type of players that you want. And it's starting to show. It's starting to show a little bit. And just really proud of their grit. Showed a lot of grit on Saturday against Clarion in an overtime game. And just really proud of them. My staff, John Ginn, Amanda Paris, they've done an amazing job. Kelsey Duggar, done an amazing job in practice with these young ladies. And then just give all the credit to the ladies just getting out there and putting everything out there. Because we were down a person again. One of our guards, Haley Tavis, was out with a little bit of an injury. She missed the last 2 games. We really missed her. She provides a lot of energy, enthusiasm. She's probably the most up-tempo player we have as far as just gets out and runs. And she's super athletic. And we missed her the last 2 games. But she practiced this morning, and we're going to get her back. Hopefully we'll get her a little bit of time on Wednesday. But we really missed her. But despite that, the ladies really picked it up. The ladies really picked it up on Saturday. Wednesday night, it was tough. You're going against number 4 team in the country, and they're every bit as advertised. And I thought we played with them for, I wouldn't say a quarter. I would say, a combined maybe 15 minutes. Because there was a portion of the late in the first quarter all the way through the second quarter where they jumped on us, and then we came back and cut it to 6 and then went into the halftime, went in the locker room down 9. So, we can do some things, but we just couldn't handle the pressure and went back to we had a bunch of turnovers.
Talking about Cal, that seems like a lifetime ago, all the way back Wednesday the 8th.
Yeah.
It was 88-68, the final score. You were talking about some of the things that went wrong, some of the things that went right. I did see on GannonSports.com, which Dan Telesky, Levi, the staff over there, do such a great job. I couldn't do my job without them.
Absolutely.
But you were within 6 in the third quarter.
Yeah. We cut it. We hit some shots there, and then they just turned on the pressure, and we didn't make the best decisions, and that's what it's all about. But again, it goes back to a young team, and they're still reverting back to some of the passes that they're trying to make, and they're not putting enough on them, and that's just being. They're going to get that. They just got to get in the weight room. We got to get a little bit stronger, and we're going to be okay. But with a team like that, you can't make too many mistakes. And we had a boatload of turnovers, which led to probably over 30-some points off of that, 40-some points off of turnovers. So you cut that out, and we're right there in the game. But they didn't quit. And because we got down big early in that first quarter. And probably most teams would have just packed it in and said, you know what, we're just going to put our tail between our legs and take it like a man, take it like a woman, and get out of here. But they fought like heck, and they cut it. And I was really proud of their effort, but they're going against a really good team. But we bounced back. Saturday.
And we always look at this number, but 31 turnovers was the story against Cal.
Yeah.
How much of that coach? Well, a big part of it, as you said, number 4 team in the nation. They're going to make you pay if you aren't doing the right things. But how much of it is you? Are you adding new folds to the offense as the year goes on as well, or is it still the same? Passing into a brick wall almost.
Yeah, no, we're adding some things. I told you probably last month or so, and it's only going on 2 months now where we've taken stuff out of the playbook. So now we're starting to add some stuff in.
Okay.
And nothing that's brand new to them. Maybe just one thing that's brand new to them. But for the most part, it's stuff that they've seen. But Cal is a different monster. They are so good. I give them all the credit in the world. They are a very, very good team. Their best offense is their defense. They put so much pressure. They can switch 1 through 5. They're super athletic. There's some kinks in the armor. But there's not many. And Coach Strom down there and her staff does an amazing job. They have one of the best players, if not the best player at the Division II level, and that's Mickey Glenn. Sierra Baird had an amazing game against us. She barely missed. But they're really good, and they capitalize on every mistake, and that's what they did to us.
What are some things, because you can make this comparison, it's tough because, among other things, youth is the first thing you enter into the conversation. But comparing a program like Cal to yours, what are some things that you see in your program that you see in theirs that kind of tells you that things are going, that they're good every single year?
Yeah, they have been. They have been. They're that's for sure. I think it's just a structure that they have. You know, I think Coach Strom, you know, she's been there. She's played at the highest level. She's competed at the highest level at Penn State, and she was a 4-year starter there, and she brings that structure from when Coach Portland was there at Penn State. And I think that's just, and then the couple coaches that she worked for before she came to head coach, you know, whether you have a good experience or a bad experience, it's an experience. So you take that all and you take what the good, you may look at it and say, man, I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to do it that way because it didn't work for that coach. But she's finding her niche, and she's done a great job to be, I think she was maybe 30 or under that when she won her first national title. Wow. That's not too bad, and that's you're reaching the peak. But I think it's just, you know, they're disciplined in a sense that it's a chaotic discipline. They get out and they get in your face, and like I said, their defense is, you don't see a lot of that in this league. They can just apply pressure, and then they can score all 5 positions. That always helps.
He is Jim Brunelli, head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights, talking about a loss to, at the time, number 4 ranked Cal. I'm not sure if they're still there now, but just a great team. You know, you're gonna lose a game or two to Cal every now and then.
Yeah.
Clarion. Let's fast forward to Clarion. This one, an overtime thriller. And as a coach, you gotta love those.
Yeah, you know, I think if I'm correct, and Levi can shake his head yes or no, but I think we've been in 2 overtime games this year and won them both. And I think when you go into now I'm not a huge fan of going into overtime. I really appreciate getting it done in regulation. But knowing going in, I felt good. If we go into overtime, I feel confident that our team can pull it out because we've been there before. However, that game was crazy. We got into some foul trouble early. We led for the majority of the game. I think stats said like 36 minutes or 32 minutes, something like that. And but we had some lulls. They went on a 13-0 run, and there was a period where we were getting our post players and our guards really good looks. The ball just wouldn't go in. And that's when they made their run. They took the lead. But then players just stepped up. When Lenise fouled out, Kelsey Herbert came in between her and Nicole Cava. They did a really good job. But Kelsey Herbert, she had 12 points, 8 rebounds. In 22 minutes, did an amazing job for us. She hit some big baskets down the stretch. The one thing I remember about that game, we got into a situation where late in the game, I don't know how many seconds were left. It was probably under 30. They went up 3. It was a mistake that was made defensively, which led to them shooting free throws. They were already up. No, it was tied. And they went to the free throw line, made the first one, missed the second one, got the offensive rebound, put it back. Now they're up 3. We come down. There's still enough time that we don't have to call any timeouts or anything crazy. It's probably maybe under a minute. And Lauren Tavis, man, we run a set. She drives to the hoop in the harm and one. Now it's tied ball game. She went to the line. She was 6 of 6 from the free throw line. She joined the double club. Nice. 12 points, 10 rebounds. And I was just telling you before we went on air, I saw the paper this morning on my kitchen counter or dining room counter. It was the first half stats, and she only had 2 rebounds and no points. So she did all that, 12 points and 8 rebounds in the last 2 quarters, and fouled out. So she stepped up. She was big in a multiple way. And we keep a stat, we keep a chart on the bench where we keep track of charges, people who take charges. Now, you have to get the call. You have to get the call charge to get a check. But then we keep another thing that's called recoveries. It's loose balls, 50-50 balls. Now, as long as you get on the ground and get a jump ball, it doesn't necessarily have to go to us. but you at least have to get on the floor. You have to be willing to. She come out of that game, she had 3 charges and 4 recoveries. So that's 7. That's huge. Yeah. And we probably had 10 or 12 total, but she had 7 of them. She's really stepped up. I was really proud of her. And she had some big shots, took some charges that got some of their kids in foul trouble. We also had a couple other people take charges. But just really proud of her effort as a sophomore coming in doing that. Herbie, again, I call her Herbie, Kelsey Herbert. She had a great night. And then Maggie Mitchell poured in, 26 points. It does. It does. And she's not at 100%. She just took the game over. We called some plays for her late. And, man, I'll tell you what, she can get it done. I'm so glad and so blessed we have her on our team. But our whole team, everyone that played did an awesome job. Julia, 5 assists. She played 45 minutes. Wow. Didn't sit out as a freshman as a point guard. Maggie, who was not 100%, played 45 minutes. I really tried to get her out, but I used timeouts to get her rest because I really couldn't take her off the floor. And sometimes you don't even want to tell the kids that, but, we tried to get rest. We tried to get her as much as we could, but we just couldn't bring her out.
Any complaints from her ever on that?
No. There's some times where, we may have to pull them out, but in that game, she did an awesome job. Chelsea pitched in, hit some big threes. She had 2, but she hit some big ones, grabbed a few rebounds there. Lanice did as best she could, being in foul trouble. She had 8 points, 5 rebounds. And then Nicole played well in a sense that she gave us good minutes on the defensive end. She didn't score a whole lot, but she grabbed some key rebounds and then put a big basket in on a little drive from Chelsea Rourke, which was really nice, which was key. So total team effort. Ladies did a great job. They stepped up, being down a player who would. When you have an 8-person rotation and you're down 1, and all of a sudden now you foul out 2 kids, it makes things a little crazy. Yeah. You're on the bench and you're trying to work with smoke and mirrors and different things like that, and trying to do different things. But I thought our staff gave some great suggestions. We mixed it up on some defense. Coach Jin, made some suggestions about the defensive end. Coach Paris made some suggestions about what had worked earlier in the first half as far as play calls, and we went back to them, and we may not have scored on them, but we got a really good look or we got a foul. And we always talk about we don't want any empty possessions. When you go down the court, I'm very selfish. The coaches, the players will tell you that. I'm a selfish person in a sense that when it's to my team, we call empty possessions. I don't want any. I don't want any empty possessions, which we go down, we don't get anything out of it. I want either a foul, I want a bucket, or I'm selfish. I want all 3. I want a foul and I want an and one. You know what I mean? I want the points and I want a foul on somebody. So we had a couple empty possessions, but it set up some things that we knew that play would work. We have a play called Power, and we got some good looks throughout the night. We went back to it, and that's what Herbie scored off of quite a bit of, and she put some big-time baskets up. Really proud of her, and she's not 100% either. So just really proud of the team. They showed a lot of grit. We got down, climbed back in it, tied it, went into overtime, and took care of business, hit some shots, and then there was that unfortunate technical foul. And even though we were going to win without it, it's always nice to go up a couple points extra and you don't have to worry about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like insurance points.
Yeah, exactly.
Lauren, is she starting?
Yeah, she started all season.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
It almost seems like the type of player, and it's a luxury when you can do this, that you'd love to have coming in as a 6-man.
Oh, yeah. And
but that's a luxury. Like a lot of teams can't take a player like that and plug them in.
Yeah, and we had a player like that, and we had plugged her into the starting lineup. Chelsea Rourke was coming in as a 6-man, coming in off the bench and doing some really good things. And then it got to a point where it was like, we need her in there because she can defend 1 through 4. She can score at all 3 phases, behind the arc, inside. She can get to the rim. And she's done a great job coming in as a starter. And then we were without what I call our 6-man. Haley Tavis comes in and provides such a huge spark. I'd have to go back into stats and figure out when the last time she came in and missed her first shot. Normally her first shot has been a 3, and she's been game after game where she comes in, hits a 3 right away. Which gives us a little bit, and then she just brings a dimension, her athletic ability. She pushes the ball, and plus that's a big guard. She's almost 6 foot playing the point guard position. So it's always nice to have that, and I'm really looking forward to getting her back.
Take me through your thoughts. This is Jim Brunelli, head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights, talking about the Clarion overtime thriller. I don't want to waste too much more of your time talking about it, but what are your thoughts in an overtime game as a coach? You said you'd rather it not necessarily be that close, but is it coach? Is it get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of what?
Yeah, that's I think as a coach, there's sometimes you want to overcoach, and depending on the situation. And Levi, let me know. I can't remember. Did Lauren foul out before overtime or right in overtime? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. There's a lot of things I can't remember. I don't know what that's all about.
Speaks how hectic that juncture of the game is.
But there's a time where we had kids who were in foul trouble, so you really have to play some offense, defense type stuff.
Right.
And then there was times prior to overtime. Like, I thought we made a really bad decision before halftime. We had the ball with like 18 seconds left. We rushed a shot. We gave them a shot. I almost went berserk. And then at the end of the third quarter, we had the same situation. And I'm like, okay, hey, we're going to, there was like 18 seconds left, 20 seconds left. We're going to come down. I'm like, hey, I'm on the sideline trying to call a play to work the clock a little bit. Maggie comes down, runs her player off, hits a three. I just throw my hands up in the air, and I looked at the bench, and I said, I'm just going to get out of the way. I'm going to go down here and sit down. I'm just going to get out of the way. And, we got to stop at the other end, but I really like to milk those situations a little bit. But she took over, and she felt good. But as far as your question, no, you're right. You got to get a feel. It's a gut feel. It's a game feel. You got to make sure that your kids are doing the right things. If they're coming down and they look a little antsy and they're making passes here and there that are like a soft, you're throwing a little lollipop pass, then it's more like, hey, I'll try to be as demonstrative as I can and try to get their attention to calm them down a little bit. But this group is starting to mature. I know it sounds crazy. I know it really does because they're so young. But playing the season, playing the teams that we've had, I'm starting to see them really get it. And I can't explain what it is. If you're there, you kind of understand. If you've played sports before, you kind of know what that is. And they're starting to get it. Are we there yet? No, we're not. But it's a heck of a lot better than where we were. And that's the progress. Like I told them a long time ago, it's not about the W's and L's. It's about improving. And that's what we want to do. And I think anybody who's come to the games, who've been with us from the beginning to now, is seeing the type of talent that's here. And there should be people that are super proud, because I know I am. These ladies are putting everything out there on the court. And there's a lot of teams that don't do that. There's a lot of kids that don't do that, but they're sacrificing a lot, and I really appreciate the effort that they're giving us.
Well, we look at the remaining schedule. It doesn't get easy in any way. You've got Edinburgh, Slippery Rock. Slippery Rock will be a winnable game, but then back for Mercyhurst. That's a tough one there. So there are a couple of things in play here. First of all, you're not mathematically eliminated from a PSAC tournament. So how much is that possibility weighing on your mind? And the other thing is, there's still time for, if you fall short of that, a signature victory this year that would look really nice, and I think it would make people really proud.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things since we've kind of taken the W's and L's out of it, and please understand, I'm the most competitive person you're going to find,
right.
and winning is part of my job, but when you're dealing with a young team, you want them to grow. You want them to grow, and this team is growing. We're not even thinking about the playoffs right now. Yeah, we know that's a possibility, and would it be great if we got there? Absolutely. Are we going to give everything we can to get there? No doubt about it. But right now we're just taking it practice by practice, game by game. That's all you can do right now. We have three very, very, very good teams. And I say with this conference, all of them are winnable and all of them are losable. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Depends on how we prepare and how we feel and what we give each game. Because you look at Edinburgh, very good team. They lost their last two. They're going to be like a wounded animal coming into the Hammer Mill Wednesday night. Okay? Then you don't even want to look at Slippery Rock, but Slippery Rock, I think, is one of the teams that beat Edinburgh earlier in the year. So you have that as an option. And then Mercyhurst is having one of the best years they've ever had. So they're three very good teams, three very dangerous teams. We gotta be as a team, we gotta be reliable. We have to be faithful to what we do offensively and defensively. And then I'm going to throw that word in there, dangerous. We got to be dangerous. We got to be dangerous. We got to be able to have that maturity to have a balanced attack. Make that extra pass. Do the little things to play that team ball that keeps us reliable, keeps us faithful.
He is Jim Brunelli. He is the head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights. They've got Edinburgh Wednesday at 5:30. And, Coach, a couple more things. We can wrap this up.
Yeah.
What are the goals from here on out? Is it it's going to sound funny me asking this after you saying about wins and losses, but is it a certain record that you're trying to obtain? Is it bullet points? These are some things that we'd like to achieve. What is it that you want to accomplish down the stretch?
It's all about improving. It really is. I hate to go back. I'm not trying to dodge your question. It's all about improving. It's all about trying to stay healthy. It's all about trying to get better and continue. This is a growing process. You know, we have one senior, one junior. So not thinking about the future, but trying to grow this team in the right direction. How can we finish on a great note? Because that's what we want to do. You want to have a great finish that'll lead into a great postseason, that'll lead into a great summer, that'll lead into a great preseason.
Right.
Those are the things that we're building on. As far as a win-loss record, no. I read a lot of books in my coaching career, and one thing John Wooden used to do is before the season, he would always go through the schedule, put W's and L's by the ones he thought, fold it up, seal it in an envelope, put it in his desk, and just forget about it. And then later after the season, he'd find it.
Interesting.
And, what do we got here? I never decided to do that just because of the unpredictability of the season. The season is such a long season. I hate keeps using that. It's such a long process. It's a marathon. It's so long. It spans 2 semesters. So many things can go right, but so many things can go wrong. And we've all seen it with teams. We've all, whether it's professional to high school, key player goes down. You have to sit Tom Brady for 4 games because of, Inflategate. Certain things can happen. You know what I mean? Or a certain player can go out, like Oakland Raiders. Their quarterback goes down. Right. Look what happens. You know what I mean? They're not as strong as they were when they had them. So I never really look at it that way. Maybe I should start. I always kind of look ahead, look at the season, but once the season starts, it's game by game. You never want to look ahead. If somebody would ask me who our next game is in the middle of the year, I couldn't tell you who we play two Wednesdays from now. It's just one of those things, and unless I had a schedule in front of me.
I think you're off that Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. I know that. I know we have a bye week coming up, which will be nice. I wish we could get that bye week earlier. Right. That would be great. Yeah. Because my first year here, our bye week came the last game of the year. Last game of the year.
And if we got playoffs coming up, it might even be a detriment to
everybody. That was the big talk then. We had 9 days off because we were 2 in the conference and we had a bye.
Right.
But we came out and I think we beat Cal that year. So
yeah, stick with your ideas. Don't use mine. You've got a lot more wins on your coaching resume than I do. I have 0.
Yeah.
So. But I'll work on that. And then my second question, and he is Jim Brunelli, head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights, and then you're off the hook. You said not to look to the future, but that was my second question.
Yeah.
At what point do we turn towards recruiting? Is that something that you do actively throughout the year? And then when can we actually talk about it?
Oh, yeah. No, very good. If you come to my office and I want to invite you over and give you a T-shirt and all that good stuff, but I have a painted picture. It's a painting. One of my recruits did for me back when I was at Anderson University because of a saying I always say. It says, recruiting is a lot like shaving. If you don't do it every day, you look like a bum. Mm-hmm. So it's an everyday process. My staff, Amanda Paris, John Ginn, they've done an amazing job. We have a commitment already that we can't talk about until they sign a national letter of intent, which will be in April. Gotcha. But we're actively recruiting. We're actively recruiting 17s. We're looking at 18s. And I also have email slots for 19s, 20s, and 21s.
Nice.
So you're always doing that. Recruiting is the lifeblood. It's the lifeblood of college athletics. And it's like the saying, if you don't do it every day, whether it's responding to an email, sending a text out to a kid of legal age who can text, you're probably not doing your job. And our staff has done a great job on that. But I really feel the future is really bright. I told someone this the other day. I think if we're a company that's on the stock market, I would buy right now. Well, it's low.
I'm in.
Because I think there's going to be a point in time real soon that you're not going to be able to touch it.
Good stuff. He is head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights, Jim Brunelli. Monday brings us another edition of the Gannon Lady Knights Coaches Show. Coach, keep it rolling. Wednesday, it is Edinburgh, 5:30, Slippery Rock, and then Mercyhurst. So a couple big games to finish up. Good luck. Keep it rolling, and we'll do this again next week.
Thank you very much. Yeah, everybody out there listening, only 2 more games to catch the Lady Knights in action in the Hammer Mill. And we wish you to come out. And the last one is going to be our senior night. It happens to be when senior day. It happens to be when our kids are on spring break. So come on out and send off Lenise Saunders in an amazing way because she deserves it.
She'll get us a couple more double-doubles.
That's it. That's it. Let's hope so.
Coach Brunelli, thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.